From your local election headquarters, this is Big Country Politics on KTAB.
And welcome back. Right now we're continuing our conversation on sex offenders. Now we speak with adult probation on how they are tracking them to keep our kids safe. Here's more of our in-depth interview.
One of the offenses that seems to get repeated is the registration laws, because various sex offenders, depending upon their offense, they may have different registration periods. Some go 10 years, some goes 10 years after discharge, some are for life. Some are annual, some are quarterly registrations. So, you know, a lot of times we will see people back on supervision for failure to register as a sex offender. If they take the cognitive, they utilize the thinking errors and what they get, the likelihood is no. But again, what we are doing in here is really a three-prong approach. You've got the treatment, which obviously you and Ricky talked greatly about. We do the polygraphs, which we're trying to determine if they're still having those impulses, if they're still doing anything of deviant behavior. And then you have the supervision aspect, which is what the probation officers do. Now, the probation officers are having contact with them 4 times a month, twice in the office and twice at home. A lot of times when they're going and there's people at home, I mean, we're looking around, we're being observant, we're trying to see, you know, what's around their house. 5, 6, 7 years ago, one probation officer that was she was a sex offender officer, something just wasn't feeling right about her client. And so she asked to look around, and she went out back where there was a storeroom. She opened it, and there's like 23 teddy bears in there. Why does a sex offender, a child sex offender, have 23 teddy bears? Okay. Obviously, that prompted a police investigation and new charges and like that. So again, supervision is not only just coming in, reporting, telling us what you've done, it's also being very observant to what you are doing. I know you talked with Ricky a little bit about internet and social media. The judges have the ability to stop that if they want. We have the ability to check it. Since I talked to you last, we have used remote.com, which is a company out of Georgetown that does forensic computer analysis for sex offenders. We tend to get it more with cases that we supervise for other jurisdictions, but we have used it on a couple of our own if we think the need presents itself. So there are a lot of tools at our disposal. The one thing that I think is important to remember, whether it's polygraphs, treatment, or supervision, if we think that there's anything, a new offense has been committed, we're going straight to law enforcement with our information. And whether it's the police department or the sheriff's department, both are very responsive to what we bring them.
You know, I guess we kind of talked about this earlier, but are y'all ever going to get where y'all have too much going on, or y'all can take all the numbers that y'all are getting to kind of keep everybody?
We have had as low as 50 sex offenders under supervision. We've had as many as 120. I think Ricky has currently 83. Now, the one thing to remember that everyone that is a sex offender under this jurisdiction goes to counseling until they discharge. They don't get discharged from counseling while they're under supervision. So if we have 83 sex offenders in counseling, then we have 83 sex offenders under supervision. Now, occasionally what you'll see is the failure to register people do not have to go to counseling. Okay, but that is the only one, unless the court orders them to. If the court orders them to go, then they go.
And let's go back to social media a little bit. So not everybody is going to be like, y'all don't monitor everybody's social media, or do y'all monitor everybody's social media?
Depends on what the court orders us to do with the individual. Okay? The court sets the guidelines, and we follow the court's guidelines. If we have reason to suspect that someone is using social media that's not, we have the ability to check it out. If we have a child predator who we think is engaged in social media and there's no court order at that time, we'll go to the court, we'll get it amended. Once that's amended, then we will start the process. But the courts are really, the prosecutor's office, the DA's office is really good about getting those put on in advance. They understand who they're prosecuting, and we do the supervision based upon what the court orders.
And we're using the term sex offender. Kind of explain to y'all, and what y'all use that word is, what is sex offender?
That's a very general term, okay? I think when the public hears sex offender, their mind immediately goes to a child sex offender or a pedophile. But in our case, we're dealing with the sexual assaults, the date rapes, the indecent exposures, anyone who has committed a sex crime. And I think it's really important when we talk about sex offenders that we differentiate which ones we're talking about. Obviously, we don't like child predators or pedophiles to have access to social media, things like that, because we don't want them in the business of grooming. One of the things that has become very popular amongst some of those is they will get on these dating websites and they will start communicating with a female that has small children. And the object here is to groom so they can get access to those children. So we monitor that. Obviously, if you've got someone who is a date rape or sexual predator of adults, you don't want them on those same websites for the same reasons. So again, it depends on what we're talking about, what the nature of the sex offense is, and how we do it. But unfortunately, the public lumps them all together, one term, but they tend to think of one class. For us, it's a general term.
And, you know, sex offenders in all broadcasts have kind of been coming up more lately. Is it seem like there's been more lately, or is it just kind of being more prevalent because of the news?
I think there's a couple of things here. First of all, I think there's a much greater by the public to report, okay? I think law enforcement has really been diligent. Ironically, today there was something on the internet about things only the people from the 70s understand. And one of the things was stranger danger, okay? And in the 70s, you know, that's not something we necessarily taught kids. It's not that it wasn't out there, we just weren't as aware of it. But I think as cases become more, people become aware of it, the media does their job in reporting it, it becomes more widespread, people understand now I can go forward with information, law enforcement is much more diligent. Once the person goes through the court process, if they come to us, we're more diligent. So I think when everyone's doing their part, whether it's you as the media or me as the supervision aspect, we all get better at it.
And we thank our reporter Kelsey Pittman for doing the questioning in those interviews. All right, coming up, a longtime police officer is retiring. We're back in 2 minutes on Big Country Politics.